So again, I'm Christopher Herring, and I just want to thank everyone for their patience as we got started this morning. I am the Executive Director of Global Chamber of San Antonio, and we've just celebrated our fifth anniversary last year, and now we're into this new year, and it's really exciting just to be able to give a feature of some of the great people who we've been able to work with. And also, since this is International Women's Day, we wanted to be able to share with you, our audience, a little bit of who we are as a chamber. And so we have some great leaders, and this is a group of women right here who you'll have a chance to meet throughout the day. They are from various parts of the world, from Europe, from Africa, from Asia, and from the Americas. And so we're going to tell their story. They're going to tell their story, and we hope that you get something out of it. We're going to start out with Yasin, who is a business owner. She's been a leader, and you're going to get to understand how her leadership emerged. She wanted to establish, after we had a great conversation about having a voice of the international woman in San Antonio, and we'll talk more about that. But this voice was in recognition that we have so many people who have come to San Antonio from different parts of the world, and she wanted to have each woman to have their own voice. And later today, tune in at noon, you'll hear from Lily Gindi and Rolette Metz. These are also women who work with our board, and Dr. Patience Miller, OBGYN, thank you. And she will join us later. She's going to take some time out of her busy schedule after working with patients. And then we'll also we'll have a chance to talk to CEO Dominique Liu and Nora, who's going to talk to us about their careers in financial services and in real estate. So we look forward to that. And as we start to power down the evening, we're going to focus on girls. And the CEO of Girl Power Strong, Cheryl Cherry, who has an amazing story. We met a long time ago when I was in the service, in the military, and so she's going to tell her story. And then, hey, I want to say congratulations to Emily Meadows. Emily captured Miss Teen Texas International. We're going to have her on later this month in March, since this is Women's History Month. And we're going to talk to her about what's next. But she represented San Antonio in such a magnificent way. I went to her competition, and it was amazing, simply amazing. And she swept all of her events. She was crowned, but more importantly, she demonstrated the gift of being able to relate with people and showing people love as they went through the competition. So I'm very proud of her. And if you want to know more about Global Chamber and our events, you can go to our events calendar at globalchamber.org. So with that being said, let's jump into our conversation. Monica, you could start actually with our conversation, if you don't mind.
Thank you. Yes, I'm really excited about learning more about Jasmine's background, and I was really wondering if you could share with us what brought you to San Antonio. Like, tell us more about your story.
Yes, so I moved to San Antonio in 2005 from Sweden. I grew up in Sweden. Yeah, I got married and I moved to San Antonio. So I would say love.
and Yasmin, so back in the day when we met, because we met a long time ago, and at the time you were doing bodybuilding and you were into physical fitness, and you were thinking about your dream of even starting a business. So what do you do for work in San Antonio, and what did you create that we all should know about?
So I started, I moved here 2005, 2006, I started at Saks Fifth Avenue. I was a sales, I was doing sales over there in the designer department. And in 2008, I decided to go back to school because I was a nurse in Sweden. So I was decided to go back to school, and I found out I'm pregnant, so that wouldn't happen. That wouldn't work. So yeah, I was, my son is right now 14 years old, and he's starting high school next year. So I was busy with being a mom for 3-4 years, and it was, I came to the point that, it's time to cut the cord. Basically, my son has to go to the daycare, and I have to go back to the field. So I wanted to get fit. So on 2013, I started to write down the goals that I wanted to achieve in order to get back to work and get fit. And so I signed up for the half marathon, and then I started applying for job. I got the job as a medical marketer. In the meanwhile, I was studying for medical coding and billing at home online. So I got my certification on 2013 also for medical billing and coding. I ran the half marathon. I work as a medical marketer. And on end of 2014, I met a girl at the gym that I was going to, and she told me that you should compete, So, and I was very fascinated with her look. And so I'm like, oh my God, I want to look like you. She was very fit. And so I did my first competition. It was November 2013, my first bodybuilding competition. So, and then, I competed until 2017. That's it, a little bit background.
Okay. And so you also gave birth to your company. And what's your company called?
Yes, sir. So on 2017, I started my last competition. This competition, they are not cheap. They were very expensive. So me and a friend of mine, we were talking. We said, how can we make the money? We need like $4 grand, $3-4 grand. She said, what? How about we go clean houses? I said, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do it. So we started doing some little advertising on Facebook. We clean houses. We didn't know anything. And my mom sometimes laughed at me. She said, back then, when I told her, I'm cleaning houses, I started a cleaning company. Well, she started laughing. She said, she never let us to do anything around the house. So on 2017, actually, I started fancy meets with here and there, a little client here, a little client there. And after the competition, we made some money for the competition to pay for the competition. So after that, my friend said, you know what, I'm done. I'm not going to do it. I say, I kind of like it. I'm going to do it, So I continue to do the cleaning. It was me and a couple other friends, I asked people to help me. So, this how my business started on 2017. And I was working 2 other jobs at the same time too. I was a store manager. I had my own business, and I also did some marketing. And on 2019, I became a spinning instructor. So I was I taught spinning for right before COVID, and after COVID happened, they closed the studio.
Okay. Well, you've been really keeping really busy, and being a business owner, or creating your own company, that for sure takes a lot of time and effort. So how about, those 2 past years been really dynamic, right? So how was it for you? Like, have you faced any challenges, or and how did you overcome them?
In my business during the COVID? It was a little bit challenging. We closed. I closed down the business, like not the business, but we were closed for month and a half. And of course, it was challenging to go into the clients' houses and so. But we were, all the staff were wearing masks and gloves, shoe covers. But believe me or not, my business increased during the COVID.
Yeah, you have a great responsibility to motivate people. I mean,
Yes.
Just knowing that when I owned a school and we had a cleaning contract, I saw a lot of cleaning contractors come and go, but you have to have a special gift to be able to motivate your employees. How is that being in that industry?
So, Chris, I believe that since early in my, when I was teenager, I wanted to help other women. I wanted to help my friends always, So I think, I believe that every bridge in your life, they connect you to where you want it to be in the future. So I think the competition was my bridge to my business. I look at it that way because I wanted to have the money to pay for my competition, and here it goes. I opened this business and we are almost 7 years. 6 years. We are 6 years. I'm 6 years in this business, but and that helped me to help other women, hiring women. I mean, we have men too in the business, but I think to help other women to be independent and make their own money. I think this is my way to helping other women, and basically to be independent, working, bring, money home, whatever, have their own career.
So let's fast forward. So coming out of COVID, we saw that there was also this recognition that you had that you wanted to establish this voice for international women. Tell us about that story, please. So
Voice of International, well, I came up with this idea and I came to you were the first person I contacted. I told Chris, I have this idea. I need help, with Global Champion. I really want to help other women, to do, because I think some of us underestimate our power. So as a woman, and we should not do that. We should not underestimate our power, and we should not let anyone to tell us that we are not worthy or we cannot do anything. So especially stay-at-home mom, after they have kids and they stay at home mom, they get so busy with their kids, and so of course is a 24 hours job itself, full-time job. But I wanted to establish the international Voice of International Women to help other women, the women from other countries too. So when they come from other countries, when we come from other countries, we have different cultures, and we are new to the US, the culture here, the people, the rules and regulations, everything, So I wanted to be the Voice of International Woman, be a source, like a guiding place for the women from all over the country to go to. And if they have any, if they want any advice about anything, we help with a relationship, we help with finding a job, we help with starting, if they want to start their own business, we give them advice. We have therapists there that help women that have been with the domestic violence. We help with those. And we have editor, if you want to write a resume, we have someone to help with that. So that is what we do right now with the Voice of International Women.
And before I turn it over to Venezia, who has a question, I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to at least to be able to hear your dream and your vision, and for me to be able to pour back what I thought would be a great opportunity just to work with you. We created the Voice within the Global Chamber San Antonio as a committee, but
Yes.
the real goal is to give birth to it as a nonprofit so that this organization can stand up and do exactly all the things in which Yasmin has talked about. So I'm very thankful you gave us the opportunity to work with you. And before
You're
I turn
welcome,
it over,
sir. Thank you.
no, but I do want to say this. There was one thing that happened during this time after you formed this committee, and that was a real struggle for you, which was the incident that happened in Iran, your home, and that changed how the community even. I mean, you became a person who became on the city's map. Tell us more about what you experienced, and then Venezia, you have the next question.
Yes. So, like I said, initially the goal was there and is there still for the Voice of International Women. On September 16, after the after Mahsa Amini, a young girl got killed by the Islamic Republic of Iran. And the revolution happened since then in Iran. All the women that they live in Iran, they stood up for themselves, they took off their hijab. It's nothing about the hijab, it's about to fighting against that regime. So I decided to I decided to do something for San Antonio community to we kind of amplify the voice of Iranian women here in our San Antonio community. So I reached out to Global Chamber, to Chris, and said, you know, I wanted to start a rally on front of the city hall, and I need your help. And there we go. We just planned everything. I didn't know many Iranian in San Antonio, so I just started advertising, putting flyers everywhere that there is a rally. We want to be the voice of the women in Iran, and we had a good turnout. You know, it was amazing. It was over like 1,000 something people, you know, show up. And since then, we are still active. We have had many rallies in the town, also in Austin. We were in Austin, we were in the, what is called?
You were all over the place. I mean, you had rallies every single week for like 5 or 6, 7 weeks.
Yes, and we're still going. Today we actually are on we are meeting at the Starbucks on Evans on Stone Oak at 1 p.m. We are collecting donation for women's shelter in San Antonio, and at the same time we will you know, pass out flyer for our website and so about women's life freedom. So for everyone to know, you know, I wanted to know more about that. But we keep going, you know, we fight is continue. We want to stop until we free Iranian women and free our country. So.
Oh, your story is such a powerful story. And I know that anytime that you give a woman her voice or you show them how just any contribution that they make, or give them a voice or a podium to have a voice, that is such a powerful thing. So I do so admire you. Can you tell me, Yasmin, like, who do you, and since we are in International Women's Day and in Women's Month, who do you admire as a woman?
As a woman, as of course, my mom, always, she comes first. And at this moment, at this moment, I admire the brave Iranian woman in Iran that battling for their life, for battling for their rights right now against the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Yeah, I remember seeing on the news, seeing women take off their hijab over in Iran. It brought tears to my eyes. I mean, I was like, wow. So
yes, they really are out
yes.
there fighting. They're getting killed. So many young girls, 13, 14, and right now is the attack at all the schools against the women, all the elementary schools, all the high schools in Iran. They have been under attack. All the girls have been poisoned with the food, and they are like going through that right now. And there is something going on all over Iran, all over the schools in Iran, girls' schools, unfortunately. So they are my admirer. I cannot say this word. I really admire them for what they are doing, for the fight they're going through, and what they are doing is they standing up for themselves, for their rights.
Thank you so much, Yasmin, for really bringing the awareness and really starting this international women's voice initiative. So it's really also so needed, really helping others and really volunteering your time and passion. So you've been involved with your business, with other initiatives, non-profits. So I wanted to just, I was wondering about what you do, outside your work, like what do you like doing, or maybe can you give us, I know you traveled the world, so maybe you can, give us some tips where to go, where to eat. So.
See, yes, I have been in many countries. Growing up in Europe, so it's easy to travel and so I have been in Germany, Italy, Prague, Czechia, of course, Bulgarian, Turkey, many countries. So my favorite country is Italy. So the food is amazing. If you ever wanted to go to Italy, try to go to South Italy. The people are very friendly. And I was shocked. Yeah, every morning, all the neighbors open their doors and they go sit there and bring their breakfast. Basically, eat breakfast, lunch, everything. All the neighbors together is like a long table on the street. So they are very friendly. So my advice is for not just a woman, for actually everyone. We live only once, so just travel, get out of the US and see other countries, is very inspiring how different cultures are, and people all around the world. Yeah.
You never realize how big the world is until you go out and you see it and you meet it. And
exactly.
Yeah. So you are absolutely correct. We have to get out of the US.
Yes.
And just experience other cultures and yeah.
Exactly. It is beautiful. I mean, I grew up in Sweden. So growing up in Sweden, that gave me the opportunity to be able to travel to all those countries. Of course, I was working too. I was LVN in Sweden. So I'm blessed. I feel blessed that I was able to do that. So, but I encourage everyone to do so too. Even if you have to decide, just pick a country. And if you are able to, put your goal, maybe say not every year, but every 2-3 years, maybe get out, even if you have to go to Mexico. Yeah, like somewhere close. So
I will. Well, Italy will certainly be on my list after your.
Yeah, you have to go. It's beautiful.
Okay. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yasmin, I want to also respect your time, and I thank you today. Just for giving us at Global Chamber the ability to hear your story. I know that with being in business and having a family, and it's difficult all by itself, but then when you take on the back of a very important issue, a social issue that everybody in the world should recognize, as being important in this day and age. I just applaud you. I know that you've received recognition as well. You received an award recently.
Yes, sir.
And what was the award?
On my table.
Oh, isn't that something? And so your leadership is being recognized, and I, like I said, I think that, as you said to me earlier, that things happen for reasons, and you're here at this point in time because certain things in your life lined up. And whether it was, when we first met and you were into physical fitness, bodybuilding, and winning bodybuilding championships, to this point, to where now you're trying to be the champion for women around the world. It's the theme is champion. You're a champion, and thank you so much for your time today. So this is our very first interview today. I want to thank each of you for tuning in. We're going to come right back at the noon hour. We have an amazing next set of International Women's Day interviews. And so thank you so much. And just stay tuned on Facebook. And we'll also have a recording that will be loading up on Global Chamber's YouTube channel. So again, the information will be there for you. I thank you all for joining us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Yasmin. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Have a great day.
Oh, thank you.